So good morning, or good afternoon, maybe at this stage. Would you like to tell us your name and I suppose why you came to APC and what brought you here?
Yeah, so my name is Brenda Lagan, and I came here due to a full right hip replacement. My friend actually recommended Patrick Hanley, so thankfully I had Patrick lined up before I even went for my operation, because I had heard that he was very, very busy and that I needed to get him booked in quite quickly.
So in regards to your hip operation, what was that something that was kind of unexpected? Was it something that you, I suppose, understood the full recovery process, and what did you know about
I
a hip
absolutely
replacement?
knew nothing about the recovery process. It was quite unexpected. I had been in pain for the last 3 years. And I suppose after seeing two orthopedic surgeons, and because it affected my nighttime sleep, the only alternative was a hip replacement. So I was literally told within 2 weeks of the operation. So I didn't have time to think about it.
That's
So
good too sometimes, maybe. You don't have too
Absolutely,
much
when you
time.
don't have too much time to think about it. So, but thankfully, I had Patrick lined up before I came out of hospital. So, I was advised for 2 weeks not to do this physio. And then after the 2 weeks, they said really kick into the physio then. So, that's when I came to Patrick.
So when you came to Patrick then after your operation, I suppose what was the approach that he took? Like maybe just to give people an idea of the journey that you went on with him, was a case of just coming to physio, that was it, or was there a little bit more
No,
involved?
so basically, first of all, when I walked in anyway, Catherine was so lovely and made me feel very welcome. And she settled my nerves a little bit, because I was very, very scared coming in. I was afraid in case I do damage, or, I would pop it, pop the hip quite quickly, because,
Yeah.
everything was still so new. But then when I met Patrick, he brought me in and he very much put me at ease. I knew he knew his stuff by the way he was talking, by the questions he was asking. It more or less was what my orthopedic surgeon was asking me as well. So I really felt I was in very good hands. And, with the exercises that he was giving me, it was enough. The intensity was enough to really start building the muscle around the hip, to, make sure that the muscle would get stronger around the hip. And I suppose Patrick explained all that to me, and that's why I understood why I was doing certain exercises. So it's important for me when I'm doing something that I need to understand it, and Patrick explained all of that to me.
So I suppose that's something that we hear quite regularly with clients who come to APC, but I suppose primarily the main thing is that you know they don't just treat the problem, but
No,
they help put your mind at ease. They
yeah,
help kind of, I suppose, educate you around it. So there isn't any crazy language that anybody
no.
doesn't understand, and that, I suppose, is nearly as important as the physical side of things, really,
Totally,
isn't it?
absolutely, because you're not bamboozled with all the medical terms.
Yeah.
So Patrick really put it into layman terms and explained what was going on with the hip, and how it was important to build the muscle around the hip, because once you build the muscle around the hip, that actually then knits the hip, or the new joint, back in. So I did find that the more I strengthened that muscle, the more I was able to kind of walk around without the crutches quite quickly.
Yeah. And with regards to the physical therapy, what was that journey like? Was it very easy? Was it extremely difficult? Was it challenging?
Well, to be fair to Patrick, again, he had, gone through different types of exercises. So when my first class came here, I didn't feel daunted. It wasn't a case of, oh my God, what do I do here? I had known some of the exercises that I needed to do, so I was able to kind of get started, get stuck in. It's a physical therapy. You do work, you do break up a little sweat. It's not coming just to kind of, relax and be massaged or anything like that. You are working your whole body. So, you're not just, working your hip. You're not just working the area that needs to be worked. You're working your whole body, because you have to realign your right, your left, whichever hip is affected. So it's important that your whole body, I've been compromising for so long. So now I need to undo all that compromising. So definitely the physical therapy and watching other people and what they're doing kind of brings you along as well. So it's nice, and it's not too intimidating, because there was only like 3 or 4 of us in the class, so it's great.
So maybe lastly, would this be something and I know maybe this sounds like a silly question after what you've said, but would it be, maybe somebody who's a little bit on the fence or isn't sure regardless of what injury they have or what kind of is going on, would you recommend that they come to APC and maybe even just have a conversation with Patrick or one of the team?
Absolutely, 100%. And to be honest, even if you don't have a physical injury, particularly for a person like myself, I'm an accountant and I sit all day. So as accountants or anybody that's sitting in an office, I would highly recommend that they even come for a few sessions, because long term you are doing more damage to your body by sitting, and especially as you get older, unfortunately, it's just the nature of how our bodies work. So I would highly recommend that people will come, have a chat with Patrick and his team, and I would highly recommend that if they can get a physical therapy session in at least once a week to loosen out the body, especially for those who sit in offices.
Great, so thank you very much.
Thank you.
I suppose there's nothing else that you'd like to add, maybe just, I think you've said it all.
To be honest, overall, I just highly recommend APC, and I will be continuing my journey with APC, and even when I am 100% recovered, I will still be coming here. I will at least once a month, or maybe when things get better, once a quarter, come to Patrick just for physio, just to make sure that I'm still aligned, that my body is aligned, and that I think your body physically needs to be 100% to feel and to be able to work good.
That's important, actually, and this was a very good point, because a lot of people would potentially only come when something is wrong.
Yes.
But that's actually a really good point. So when everything is going really great, it's just as important.
That's when you need to come, to be honest. And when you're physically well, you feel mentally well as well. Because I know physically, when you have pain, mentally it can drain you and you're exhausted. So that's why, even though I'm going to be 100% in time, I will definitely be sustaining that, coming here with Patrick, to continue that journey on.
Great. Thanks a million.
Thank you very much.